Yes, very good morning. So I think in yesterday's session we discussed about introduction, then after we started basic concepts. I think 1 or 2 points are already we discussed here. Yes. Basic concepts. The first one we discussed about power to levy taxes. Within that we discussed 2 article numbers. The first one is 265. What is the 265 says? If you want to collect the tax, definitely you need to get a support from law. So then who can frame the laws? That is given by the article number 246. Nothing but central government at parliament, state government at assembly. Both they can make the laws regarding collection of taxes. Now in article number 246, how many schedules are there? Many schedules are there, but within that the 7th schedule, how many lists are there? 3. List 1, list 2, list 3. Within the list 1, yes, we have many laws, but what is our entry number for income tax? 82. Entry number 82 of list 1 to the 7th schedule of an article number 246 of Constitution of India is given power to collect the taxes. Now you can check the flow. Entry number 82 of list 1 or union list. To which schedule? 7th schedule. 7th schedule in which article? 246. So these are all articles are contained in where? Constitution of India. So this is only we discussed about the yes power to levy the taxes. So now second point. Yes sir, second point. If any person asked about what is the income tax liability, okay, after your qualification also, if any person asked about your income tax liability, then definitely you can say whatever the taxation we learn in that enter and final, and we can apply and we can say tax liability. That is totally we can't accept it. Reason? If you learn only Income Tax Act 1961, that is not at all complete. If you want to know about income tax law in and out, these are all the components and sources you have to follow. Not only act. That means nothing but in Income Tax Act 1961 we have in section 1 to 298. If you followed only these sections, definitely you can't say. The reason I can say, sir, one person established a nursery in your hometown. He approached you for income tax liability. Okay. But you haven't doubt whether nursery income is an agricultural income or non-agricultural income. But in Act nowhere they are mentioned about that thing. Okay, if you are saying, sir, that is non-agricultural income, please pay the income tax. Maybe the decision may be wrong. So that means only Income Tax Act 1961 if you learn, that is not at all complete regarding the income tax law. Yes, you have to follow. These are the components or sources for getting complete knowledge about Income Tax Act or income tax law. What are the components and sources? Yes, I given how many components and sources here? 5. The first one, Act you should know. Along with the Act, we have to learn what the Income Tax Rules 1962. After Act, next year only rules. Next, Annual Finance Act. Law framed in 1961. On that time, maybe rupee value is very high. Now the rupee value is low. How we can follow the same Act till now? So that's why we have to change every year this Income Tax Act 1961 by using the Annual Finance Act. Annual means nothing but what? Yearly. Yearly we will frame one act. By using this act we can make an amendments to the Income Tax Act 1961. The reason nothing but, yes, long ago we framed a law. How we can apply the same law now? So that's why we are making the changes every year. That's why you have to know this also. Next, time to time the CBDT as well as central government will issue the some notifications and circulars that also you have to know. The last one very important. Definitely, if any dispute between the assessee and department, yes, they will go to the court of law. Yes, court can give some judgments. You have to know the judgments also. You have to know the judgments also. Then only you will know complete about the income tax law. Important. Maybe for MCQs also, just remember the what are the components or sources of income tax law. In okay, if you are engaging in practice, definitely you have to know everything. Now, okay, just sir, I know Income Tax Act 1961, one section 1 to section 298. That is not at all complete. If you learn along with the act these 4 also, totally 5, then only you can know about the income tax law in and out. So now we can discuss one by one. Then we can discuss one by one component. So first we'll start about the Income Tax Act 1961. Yes, by using this yes name, definitely many of you can say, sir, it is came into force. So nothing but framed in 1961, okay. But when it is given for applicability in India, 1/4/1962. Important. Important, very important. So in flow, definitely we can say 1/4/1961. That is not correct. 1/4/1962. Now it is applicable whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. After article number 370, yes, now it is applicable whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. Now, how many sections, ma? 298. Earlier I discussed section 1 to section 298 we have. And how many schedules? How many schedules, ma? 14 schedules we have. Yes, you have to remember each and every point for MCQ purpose. Don't by heart, just listen carefully. The first we discussed the applicability, came into force, section numbers and schedules. Done? Now next component is rules. Next component is what, ma? Rules. Okay. Now I will tell you first one rule example in our Income Tax Rules 1962. They are given one rule. First I will explain that rule, then after we can know purpose of that rules also, whatever we have. Okay. Maybe you taken this point as a choice in your intermediate level. PCBP provision, section 40A subsection 3. PCBP. Okay, maybe you know chapter name, but you don't know anything in that. Okay, I can understood many of you can take the choice of the chapter, but not in final. In final, I will take 30 hours for PCBP only. Okay, because 14 mark question. Okay, remember, 40A subsection 3 is saying that if you want to make payment in the form of cash, how much amount you can make? 10,000. More than 10,000 you can't do in the payment of in the form of what, mark? Cash. That is only they are saying clearly. Please read this. If payment in cash exceeding 10,000. So now 11,000 I am making in the form of cash. While computing PCBP, this entire 11,000 we have to what, ma? Disallow. That means simply I will record revenue in this side, right? Okay, P&L account. I will record the revenue credit side. Here, if you are making the payment in your business or profession more than 10,000 in cash, now you can't record as an expenditure. So that's why what will increase? Net profit will increase. Indirectly, I can say our PCBP income also will increase. Okay, if income increase, what we have to pay? Tax also we have to pay. So disadvantage or advantage, assessee? For assessee, it is a disadvantage only. So nothing but you can't record this 11,000 as an expenditure in your books if you are making the payment in the form of what, mark? Cash. Sir, how we can pay, sir? Simply if that is more than 10,000, you can use the account payee check. What is that, ma? Account payee check. Next one, account payee DD, demand draft. ECS means what, ma? Electronic clearing system. Nothing but your IMPS, RTGS, NEFT, internet banking transfers, that all the things are electronic. So now they given the any other electronic modes, nothing but they are given the Google Pay, yes, Beam, all the things they are introduced. So if it is more than 10,000, you have to clear in these ways only. Otherwise, if you are doing in the cash, that you can't record it as an expenditure in your business or profession. If you are not recorded as an expenditure, automatically income will increase. You have to pay the tax also more. Now in our institute, that means in CLASS-2 definitely I can implement this provision properly. The reason, while I am making the payment of rent, I will do these modes only. If I am making the payment to the books printers also, I can do in this way. Definitely I can follow this provision properly. Okay. Now imagine if I am purchasing something from the farmers. Okay, just I am purchasing some food grains from the farmers for manufacturing the food products. If I am giving the payment in these ways, will they accept? No. They will ask instant cash. Whatever it may be, that is in crores also, lakhs also, they will ask in the cash. Okay, I want to make this some amount to the fishermen for purchasing the fish products. If, okay, in fish market, if I are offering these ways of payment, will they accept? No. So definitely this provision implementation is difficult in certain cases, not in all cases. Definitely this provision implementation is difficult in certain cases. Definitely implementation of act seems difficult in certain cases. So that's why income tax rules came into picture. They are given the rule 6DD. You have to by heart name also. What is it? Rule 6DD. They are given the. In some exceptional cases, even though payment is more than 10,000 also, you can do in the cash way. If the payment exceeding 10,000 in cash, it will be allowed as deduction in all cases or few exceptional cases. Few exceptional cases. In PCBP, I will tell you all exceptions. Just example, while you are making the payments to the agriculturalist, while you are making the payment to the fishermen, where the banking facility is not available, in all the cases, you can make the payment more than 10,000 also in cash. In such cases, you can record that as an expenditure. You can record that as an expenditure. That means now, please let me know, only act is enough to understood the whole structure of income tax law? No. If you know the rule, then only you can get a complete idea. If you are practicing CA or CMA, if you want to give the guidance to your client, if you are giving the guidance without rules, definitely next day termination for you. Now, but these rules framed by who? Entire act is framed by the central government at a parliament level. You know already. That entire act is framed by whom? Central government at parliament level. But now rules is framed by the CB. Who have an power to make the rules? Central Board of Direct Taxes have an power to make the rules. Next point. So why we are going to release the rules? Simply, the rules are step-by-step guidelines. For which purpose? Implementation of act. So now, if you want to implement this provision in act, this is a guidance or not? Yes. Without rule, can I apply this provision properly? Can I implement this provision properly? No. Simply I can say, for implementation of act, not in all provisions, in some provisions definitely rules are required. Not in all provisions, but in certain provisions implementation, definitely rules are required. So that's why who given the rules, Central Board of Direct Taxes. Very, very important. Who can frame the rules for proper implementation of the act? Central Board of Direct Taxes. Understood up to now? Two components are over. These two components are always all together. If you want to implement the act, you need an rules. So this is a better example, but if you not understood this provision in depth way also, no problem. Just simply I am saying, if you are making the payment in the form of cash more than 10,000, that is disallowed. That means you can't record that as an expenditure in your business. So, sir, in some cases, I can't implement this provision properly. That's why they are given the exceptional cases. In these exceptional cases, we are making the payment in the form of cash more than 10,000 also. No problem. You can record it as an expenditure. Done? No. Then after, we can talk about the Annual Finance Act. What is that, ma? Annual Finance Act. Annual means you know already every year. Okay. Sir, act. This is also, yes sir, act only. How act will frame? Act means law. How it will be framed? Simply, it is at a central level or state level? Central level. Okay. We have two houses of parliament. One is a Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Okay. Their assent is required. Assent means nothing but the more votes for favor. Now, that Union Finance Minister, whom? Union Finance Minister. Wait. Who is that, ma? Union Finance Minister will introduce the bill in the both the houses of parliament. Bill means I will tell you. Already we have an Income Tax Act. Earlier Finance Acts we know already. What are the proposed changes we want to make now? That all the things we will draft into papers. That is only called as bill. So proposed changes what we are going to make. Okay, if that is presented in the both the houses of parliament, yes, got assent from the both the houses of parliament also, then after we have to send it to the, yes, President of India. We have to send it to the President of India. If the President of India also given the assent, then it can be converted into, previously it is a finance bill, now it can be changed as an what? Finance Act. It can be converted into what, ma? Finance Act. Remember, every year, February 1st, our Union Finance Minister, I think last 8 years or 9 years also, one person only presented the finance bill in the both the houses of parliament. Akka evaru? Nirmala Sitaram. Okay, definitely that will be, yes, that will get assent from the both the houses of parliament, because the majority of members are their party holders only. Next, President of India also automatically will give the assent. There is no, yes, much time. Definitely within some days only this entire procedure will be done. Every year, which date? February 1st. Now February 17th now, 2026. February 1st 2026 also this procedure done. Okay, this procedure done. But that is not applicable for our examinations. Okay, that is not applicable for our examination. Sir, which Finance Act is applicable, sir? In 1st February 2025, that means last year. Okay, already one bill introduced, that bill got assent from the both the houses of parliament and President of India, that is converted into Finance Act. That Finance Act only applicable for our examinations of June 26 as well as December 26. Already we discussed the what is that applicable previous year and assessment year also yesterday. Just remember now also what is that Finance Act applicable for our examinations ma? Finance Act 2025. 25. 26 Finance Act, yes, whatever earlier, I think 2 weeks back passed, February 1st 2026, whatever it is passed, that is not applicable for us. Okay, in your social media also many can share, that is not applicable. Whatever your books contains the provisions as well as the rates and all the things, that is only applicable for your exams. Understood? Now, finance bill is passed by the both the houses of parliament, and after passing in the parliament, both the houses, it got assent from President of India. Now we can call this as an what? Finance Act. Every year, why we are required to frame one Finance Act ma? Every year amendments made to the income tax law. First, direct tax laws will amend by using Finance Act. Many are assuming the Finance Act only for direct tax laws. No. For indirect tax laws also. Every year, because of this annual Finance Act, we got an amendments in both the tax laws. What the first one? Direct tax laws. Second one, indirect tax laws. Understood? First, yes, you have to remember what is our examination term. Then after, what is our Finance Act? What is that previous year? What is that assessment year? Okay, sir, that will be given in exam, sir. That will be given in exam only. But at the time of doing practice also, at the time of reading question also, yes, you have to write it down previous year assessment years quickly, yes, without thinking. That means you have to remember this assessment year as well as previous year and which Finance Act is applicable for you also. Understood or up to now? How many components are over, ma? 3. 2. 3 components are over. The first one, Income Tax Act 1961. Next, second one, Income Tax Rules 1962. Next one, Annual Finance Act. Now, rules framed by whom? CBDT. Now, so then next component is circulars and notifications. Next component is what, ma? Circulars as well as notifications. Remember, circular as well as notification side by side we have. Okay. First I will take the one example of circular. Okay. Every year they will release the new provisions in Finance Act also, or in any, by using the direct amendments also, we have a new provisions in ACTA. But after releasing the new provisions, I have a doubt whether that provision is applicable for me or not. That provision is applicable for me or not, definitely I will get a doubt. So nothing but if I have a doubt, others also will get the same doubts, right? All of us definitely will ask with the department different queries. These are all are called as frequently asked questions. Simply, in order to clarify all our doubts, they will release circular. They will release circular. Okay. In the 2021, they given the circular number 13. One new provision is there now, that is TDS under section 194Q, recently released on that time. Now old provision only. On that time, TDS on purchase of goods, there is some complications for understanding this provision also. That's why they given some examples as well as frequently asked questions in order to clarify our doubts. Who will release this type of circulars? Department only. But who is an authority in the department? Simply CBDT. Rules also released by CBDT. Circulars also will release by CBDT. Sir, when we are required to release the circulars, whenever it is required, we are going to release the circulars, time to time. So all of us are asking the one doubt regarding one provision. They will release the circulars. Whenever it is required, they will release the circulars. Now, what is the purpose of releasing the circulars? Please let me know, ma. To clarify the doubts over any provision, scope, whether it is applicable or not applicable. Yes, in order to clarify the doubts regarding the scope and meaning of provisions. Must CBDT given the circulars, below CBDT we have a different income tax authorities. All are required to follow these circulars mandatorily. Yes, nothing but what, ma? Department required to follow these circulars mandatorily. What about assessees or other party? I am not purchasing any goods. For me, that circular is applicable. Do I need to bound by that circular? Not required. If that is required for you, you can bound. I am not purchasing anything. How can I follow this circular? That's why, if it is applicable, you can take advantage over it. Otherwise, you can ignore it. So, it is also important. They will ask a question. Who will release circulars? CBDT. Purpose. If any doubt is there, definitely they will release the circular. Who will release? CBDT. Next, who required to bound over the circulars? Department. Who can take advantage over the circulars? Assessee. Understood first? After reading this entire components, maybe you can get confusion. But you have to maintain the clarity. What is the purpose of rules? Proper implementation of act purposes. Definitely they need a support for rules. Example 40A subsection 3, rule 6 double D. Who will release? CBDT. Next, annual finance act, easily you can understood practically also. But circulars point you have to understood. CBDT only will release. But what is the purpose? If any new provision is there, definitely all SSEs having the doubt. So now in order to clarify the doubts, they will release the circulars time to time. Now, again, notifications. Generally notification meaning, I want to know. General way. Okay, in our mobile there is a notification, means nothing but what? Information conveyed to us in a special way. Okay. Department also can give the information to the all the SSEs by using what? Notification. Example. In PCBP, okay, I will take the practical only. There is in section 35 CCD, if any person established the skill development projects, they can get 100% of the deduction. Suppose if you started this type of skill development SR project, 100% of your expenditure you can take it as deduction. In act they given only this point. All of us can start the skill development project. That means nothing but we can give the training in MS Excel, MS Word and others to others. Nothing but skill development to the people. We can also start and we can claim the entire amount of expenditure as a deduction. That means no need to pay any tax. That entire amount is in our pockets only without paying any tax. Later, they given a notification. Sir, if you want to claim this deduction, there is some guidelines how to conduct the skill development project. Simply, how many computers you have to possess. Yes, what is that building and which area also. These guidelines and the conditions are not given in act. These conditions and guidelines are given in notification. Can you tell me what is a notification 54/2013? In 2013 they given this notification. For example purpose I am taking. Now can you tell me, now without this notification that provision incomplete or not? Yes. Now how this provision will get the effectiveness? By using the notification only, this provision can get the effectiveness. Otherwise, it is an entirely loophole only. Everyone can start and everyone will take the deduction. But after this notification, there is an stringent conditions and guidelines introduced. That's why remember, definitely if you want to strong some provision in the act, definitely they will come up with the rules and they will come up with the notification. Then what about rules, sir? Simply for implementing the act, rules. For strengthen the provision in act, they will come up with the notification. Other way also you can say, a due date of this year is extended. How they will communicate to the public at large? Notification. Due date of filing of return of income, tax audit due dates extended, or any information they want to convey to the assessee. So definitely they will give what notification. But here notification will be two ways. Act related notification, CG will issue. Why? The act is framed by central government. Rules also will issued by the central government only. Rules related notifications. Sorry, notifications will issued by the central government because with respect to the act. Rules framed by whom? CBDT. Rules related notifications also will framed by the CBDT. So many are writing the answer. Rules issued by the CBDT. Will you accept? Yes. Note circulars issued by the CBDT. Notifications also with respect to the rules issued by the CBDT. But central government also can issue the notifications. Please remember that. Now, summary of the entire things I will discuss within 2 minutes. Just listen. If you listen till now, the summary easily you can understood. Components or sources of income tax law is broadly 5. First, Income Tax Act 1961. So nothing but it is applicable whole of India including Jammu and Kashmir. And it came into force on 1/4/1962. It contains 298 sections, 14 schedules. Second one, we have an Income Tax Rules 1962. So just we discussed one provision in Act section 40A subsection 3. If you are making the payment in the form of cash more than 10,000, that entire amount is disallowed. But in some exceptional cases, even though you are making the payment more than 10,000 also, that is what allowed. So now for implementing the act in certain sections, definitely we need an rules. That rules released by whom? CBDT. So next we discuss the annual finance act. Annual means every year February 1st. So now for applicability, for our examination applicability on 1st February 2025, our finance minister, union or state, union finance minister introduced the bill in the both the houses of parliament. After getting the assent from the both the houses of parliament, and that will be sent it to the president assent. After getting the president assent, that is called as a finance act. Every year, by using this finance act, we can make the amendments in the both the direct tax laws as well as indirect tax law. Present finance act is Finance Act 2025. Previous year 25, 26. Assessment year 26, 27. Next, circulars notification. First we will discuss about the circulars. Who will release the circulars? CBDT. Who will release the circulars? CBDT. Next, remember, if any doubts regarding one provision is there, for that assessees who will clarify the doubts, CBDT. How they will clarify the doubts? By using the circulars. Circulars can bound by the department, not by the assessees. We discussed one example, 194Q provision introduced regarding one circular issue. Now, notification. Two types of notifications will be there. Act related notification, central government. Rules related notification, CBDT. So now why notification? Definitely in order to strengthen the one provision in act. Sir, in act they can't give the much information. First they released, okay, the skill development project is important. They released the provision. Then after they given the effect to that provision, that means they are given the conditions or nothing but the guidelines by using the notification. Simply one important point, notifications whatever we released that required to be bound by the both the department as well as SSA. Circulars related bounding is different. Notifications bounding is nothing but both the parties required to follow that notifications. Understood? Now, case laws. Remember, whatever that High Court and Supreme Court given the judgments, we have to remember that as a landmark judgments. That are what? Landmark judgments. Simply, in order to study the income tax law entirely, definitely this is also forming part. Okay, now we'll take one example. Practically, it is a case law only. Listen, Soundarya nurseries are there in one nursery form is there in Chennai. That is nothing but Tamil Nadu. So simply whatever the nursery income is there, they are arguing it as an agricultural income. But department is saying that okay, normally agricultural income means I can say some points. Basic operations you have to carry it out on land. So nothing but before seeding we have to do what ma? So definitely some basic operations we have to do. After that seeding, then after we have to give the proper water and pesticide or whatever it may be. These are all operations are carried on land only. So that yielding if you sold, that is an agricultural income. But in nurseries, if you imagine that basic operations not on land, okay, maybe vessels or plastic covers or in some trays we can grow the plants. Department argument is simple. Basic operations not carried on that land. So that's why it is not an agricultural income. Their argument also correct. Okay, nothing but in our villages, how agriculturalists are earning the income by using the land directly. They are not using any plastic vessels, etc. But in nurseries, you can imagine, okay, if I want to purchase the flower plant, definitely how they will give? Simply within seconds they can give within a tray. I can plant anywhere also. But they are arguing that it is not an agricultural income. But Soundarya nurseries are strongly arguing it as an agricultural income. Definitely there is a dispute between the department and SSA. So that's why they are going to Madras High Court on that. They are going to, so they are already gone to Madras High Court. Now, High Court given the judgment favorable to whom? Soundarya nurseries only. And what basis they given the judgment? Growing activity is there. Plants means nothing but the growing. That is a natural activity. Yes, growing activity itself enough to constitute it as an agricultural activity. Based on this judgment, all over India, wherever nurseries are there, they are not paying any tax. They are not paying any tax. If you don't know this, okay, in future, if you establish a nursery also, if you don't know this, definitely you will pay tax. So that's why for understanding the entire income tax law structure, act not at all sufficient. Along with the act, we have to know everything. Sir, like this, how many case laws are there? Every High Court and Supreme Court judgment regarding that income tax law, you have to know. Sir, district courts are given some judgments, sir, do I need to follow? No. Only High Court and Supreme Court. That also forming part of income tax law study only. What is the case law name? Soundarya nurseries case law. In our total final syllabus, I will tell you 20 case laws. This is the first case law. Okay, like this, if you remember that same thing, sir, till your examination, 1 or 2 questions also you can get. The case law name and what is the content of the case law, you have to remember. Done? Yes. Now, if you remember, yes, we started only one point, components or sources. Sir, in intermediate level, maybe you can expect this question for 7 mark also. Not now. But why we are discussing nearly for 30 minutes or 1 hour also? Agenda behind this discussion. In future, if I am using the word of circular, you need to know what is the background of circular's word. If I'm saying case loss, you need to know about that. Notification, you need to know about that. If I'm using the rules, you have to know why. What is the purpose of rules? And annual finance act, anyhow, you know. Now, final questions, sir. 3 questions only I will ask. Please let me know. Rules framed by whom? Circulars framed by whom? Notifications related to rules framed by whom? Notifications related to act, who will frame? Central government. Now, what is the purpose of circulars? Clarify the doubts over provisions. What is the purpose of rules? In order to implement an act in a proper way. What is the purpose of notification? In order to strengthen or effect to the provisions. So if circulars are given, who required to bound over the circulars? Department. Who can take the advantage over it? Assessee. But if notifications are released, who required to bound it over? Both assessee and department. Done up. Now. They framed entire income tax act in parliament level on that time. But for our entire act, they are required to give short title. They framed section 1 to section 298. But at the end, we want to call with one name. That name is nothing but what? Income Tax Act 1961. Every time they will frame the one law, then after they will give the name for that law. So now what is the name they given? Income Tax Act 1961. Now, that is only section 1 in our act. What is the section 1? Short title. What is the short title? Income Tax Act 1961. Applicability. Whole of India, extent the whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. Applicability 1/4/1962. That is only section 1 in our act. Done. Section 2, whenever it is required, we will discuss. In every act, section 2 is definitions only. But not now. We have many definitions. Whenever it is required, then we can discuss the definition from the section 2. Section 3 is also definition, but exclusive definition for the previous year. Now you can say anything about previous year. I can say previous year means it is a financial year in which you are earning the income. You are earning the income. But we'll discuss the definition also in section 3. Now, section 4, which is very important in this chapter, we are going to learn this section only in and out. What is that? Section 4. What is that? Charging section. What is that? Charging section. Now, all of you just listen. They framed act. They haven't power to collect the tax also. Based on weight, based on height, based on color, they will collect tax. Based on income. Okay. I have an 10 rupees income for the entire year. You have an 10 crores income. Definitely there is a differentiation in collection of tax. Simply on what basis they are going to collect the tax, how much amount they are going to collect the tax, from whom they are going to collect the tax. These are all the things will get clarified by using which section? Charging section. Without the charging section, the taxation related all laws are zero, baseless. If they are not giving the clarity about how we are going to charge the tax, how we are going to collect the tax, that all the things they will give clarity in which section? 4. First section, that is a charging section. Now we can start. Okay, now I given the charging section in my own way using 3 lines. But now you can't remember these 4 lines or 3 lines. But at the end of the session, easily you can say this entire paragraph without seeing also. Okay, just I will check. Every person, I am highlighting keywords. every person. Okay. Person means, okay, intermediate level you have a knowledge, that's why easily you can say person means so and so. But no, every person. Now we can discuss the person definition. Definition of person given in section 2 class 31. What is that? 2 class 31. Already we discussed section 2 contains the definitions. Now we are referring the section 2 class 31 definition of person. This is an inclusive definition. So on, so all are included in this definition. First one, repeat along with me. Individual, HUF, LLP partnership firm, company, AOP, BOI. Next one, ma. Local authority, cooperative society, as well as what, ma? AJP. Simply, these two are one and the same. Can you imagine one MCQ asked in that examination in final level, how many limbs are there in person definition? How many limbs means parts? How many? 7. In final level they asked this, that is long ago, not now. You can't expect this type of MCQs now. One more MCQ I will tell you. One individual is there. What is that highest slab rate for that individual? 30%. That is also MCQ only. Once upon a time. Okay. On that time there is no demand for CMA also. Now there is a demand or not? There is just okay, every time after qualification, the many students, old students who are working in MNC, they will message to me, sir, we have an openings in our company. If we refer the students to them, definitely we can get referral bonus, sir. Please help me regarding that. They will message me. Okay, I will share the same screenshot to the Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever it may be. The many students will share the resume also. Within 4 or 5 days, they will conduct an interview. But don't blame course first. You don't know how to prepare resume. You don't know how to communicate in interview. Okay, these are all the things apart. You don't know how to behave with others also. That is the main point. Okay, many mistakes we are committing. Okay, but we are blaming the course. No, I think earlier, I think 6 days back we got result. No, 2 persons already joined in Accenture now. Already joined. They received offer letter also. Today we 3 or 4 persons have an interview. Sir, package if you are expecting crores, na, we can't do anything. I will be satisfied with the 50,000 per month also initially. Okay. Now you have a nearly 20 to 25 years of age. 50,000 is enough. Okay, in future you can earn. Okay, if you are not capable, if you are not satisfying with that, no, you can establish own company. I am not satisfying with the salary, then I started as institute. Yes, you can do. You can take a risk. If you want to earn money, okay, many students or many others are thinking that only employment is an opportunity. No, no, no. You can do anything also. Okay. There is a demand for the course. If anyone is not accepting, just see the public and many other institute also. They are starting CMA course, exclusive CMA course. Reason, there is a demand in public also. After qualification, if anyone not getting the job, rectify yourself, then automatically you will get. Next. How many parts in the person definition? 7. Simply, AJP, one example is cooperative society. One example for AJP is what? Cooperative society. Now we can discuss something. Sir, individual means what, sir? Natural born person, male, female, major, minor, all are included here. HUF means nothing but what, Hindu, undivided family, simply family owned businesses. Now I will discuss the HUF related some points. Okay. All of you may be from AP and Telangana, right? AP and Telangana only, right? Any other state persons are there? Okay, not no. Okay, no problem. Just I am asking, okay, if you have any differentiation with your father and mother, okay, you can ask your share directly with them, or you are begging. Differentiation means nothing but you have a big dispute or a love story or whatever it may be. You have an issue. Now you are asking your share of your property from your HUF. That means your family. You will ask directly, right now? Definitely. On the spot we will ask whether they are giving or not giving. That is a different matter. After that, definitely doors will be closed and many things will be happen. That is different issue. Now you can connect the same thing. HUF controlling can be done by the two schools of Hindu law. Nothing but the two laws are there in India for controlling all the HUFs. The one is nothing but what Dayabhaga school of law. Second one is an Metakshara. Simply law. Now we'll discuss first Dayabhaga. This is applicable only for two states, West Bengal, Assam. So nothing but in these two states, if any HUF is there, they will follow which law? Dayabhaga school of law. What is the difference? Simply, children will not get any right of their property. That means HUF property, whatever is there, children will not get any right as long as head of the families is living. So if you want to get the property, simply if they are died, then you will get a right to enjoy the property. Simply, nobody acquires. What is that? Right or share in property by birth. If you are born in a family, yes, you will not get any right in that family property. Just you born in that family, you will not get any right as long as what head of the family is living. So nothing but if any person is watching the class also from the Assam and West Bengal, yes, don't argue with the parents. If you are arguing also, they will not give anything. Even though if you are complaining to any others also, nobody will help you. Regarding they are following these laws. Dayabhaga school of law is disadvantage to us. Now, Metakshara, rest of India, that means AP and TN and TS or TG. TG. Okay. TG. So now, what is that? Every children, by birth itself, we can acquire the right in the family property. So that's why now we have an demanding points. So now we are asking everything by birth itself. I think if they are not doing anything, definitely please give me my property. I can do anything. I can live myself also. So all the things will come by using the Metakshara law only. So for MCQ purposes only, not much important. I think you know these two schools of law in intermediate level, that is 10+2 level itself. In MEC we have these two schools of law also, but I don't know. On that time I don't know. Next, what are the points? First, person definition we discussed. In person definition, individual over HUF over. HUF related how many schools of law is there? 2. Dayabhaga, Metakshara. For AP, TS, TN, TG, which law is applicable? Metakshara. Simply remember, except these two states, Metakshara. For these two states, Dayabhaga. Done? Now. Firm LLP. You know, partnership form means nothing but what two or more person are associated with each other and they will do one partnership deed, they can do business. That is a partnership form. Company means, yes sir, how many types of companies are there? I think that tomorrow or day after tomorrow Hero will take the class and he will tell you the types of companies etc. background also. I don't want to know the types of companies classification in income tax. I want to know only two types. One is an private company, public company. Private company, public company. Shares, limited company, unlimited. Next, government company, non-government company. Domestic company, foreign company. We don't want to check anything in tax only to the domestic company as well as foreign company. Now, sir, you forget to explain about LLP, sir. No, sir. I remember. Sir, 3 partners are there. Simply they can do business by using partnership form. 20 or 30 partners are there. Partnership form implementation is difficult. So that's why we can extension of partnership form and having similar features like a private company, that is only what LLP. So it is an upgraded version of partnership form and it having the similar features like which company? Private company. That is only limited liability partnership form. And in act, in most of the cases, whatever the provisions are applicable for partnership form, that provisions are applicable for LLP also. Understood up? Now, up to now, these points are clear. Now, AOP, BOI. If I am asking, you will also say AOP means association of persons, sir. Body of individuals, sir. BOI means. Okay, I know that, but I want to know something beyond that. Anyone? నాకు పెద్ద పనేం లేదు, ఈవెంట్ అంతా వాళ్ళు చూసుకుంటున్నారు, ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ చేసిన అడిగే వాళ్ళు లేరు, చెప్తే తొందరగా వదులుతా. అండ్ అందరూ ఈవినింగ్ అక్కడ కనపడండి, అటెండెన్స్ పర్లేదు, ఫుడ్ బాగుంటుంది రా అండ్ నేను కూడా అందుకే వస్తా. అంటే మళ్ళీ చెప్తున్నా కదా, ఒక్కళ్ళు వచ్చినా కానీ రేపు మీకు అదే చెప్తారు. ఒక్కళ్ళు వచ్చినా కానీ ఈవెంట్కి రిమైనింగ్ వాళ్ళకి రేపు అదే చెప్తారు. సో మీరు పెద్ద చేసేదేం లేదు. ఒకవేళ ఆఫీస్ ఏమి ఉండదు కదా, ఏమీ లేదు, జస్ట్ 3ంటికి అక్కడ కాసేపు అలా ఉండండి, నేను 3కో 4కో వస్తా, నైట్ వరకు మన ఇష్టం. దెన్ AOP BOI. Now I will tell you my AOP full form, association of person. Body of individuals full form, sorry, BOI full form, body of individuals. Simple here, persons. Association of person means combining a person. Person definition we have an individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP, company, partnership form, LLP, all are there. Simple. Any person in that person definition can become the members in AOP. Simply one company, one partnership firm, one individuals can combinedly with each other, they can do the business, that is only AOP. Simply I can say this is only in our accounting language joint venture. What is that? Joint venture. Again I am saying any person can become the member in AOP. So nothing but association of person. P means nothing but what? Person. Person definition contains some limbs. In that any person also can become the member in AOP. Individual, body of individuals, nothing but you can easily say who can become the members in body of individuals. Only individuals. Only individuals can become the members in BOI, body of individuals. Understood? Now, there are also persons. Local authority. Do you know anything about local authority, Anna? Simple. Central government, NDA. Right? Central government is NDA right now. Pakka. Okay. Then below the central government we have an what? State government. Okay, in your different state, different governments are there. Below the state government, we have an local self-governments. What is it? Local self-governments. Okay, simple example I will take. In Telangana, state government is Congress. Okay. Now, at a village level, at which level Village level. At town level, at a city level, the same Congress is ruling? No. In my village, Sarpanch is BRS. Yes, nothing but that village level local government is called as what? Panchayat. Town level is called as an municipality. Town level is called as what? Corporations. These are the local self-governments. Yes, panchayat, municipality, corporation, these are all are what ma? Local self-government. These things are funded by the central government as well as state governments only. How panchayat will get money, how the municipality will get money, how the city will get the money, sorry, corporations, how they will get the money, simply funded by the higher governments only. If they have an income, they are also required to pay the tax. That's why this local authority is also included in the person definition. Can you tell me local authority means local self-government less than state government level, municipality, panchayat, corporations. Understood, Amma? Now, to be honest, these two things just for my convenient purposes I am classifying, but it is not there. Only we have an AJP. Only we have an AJP. We don't have any cooperative society. Okay, AJP meaning I will tell you, artificial judicial person. You know something, that is only. AJP means artificial judicial person. But I will tell you some examples. Charitable trust. Can you classify charitable trust to this? Can you classify charitable trust to any one of these classification up to 6? RBI. Can you classify RBI to any one of this list? Universities. Whenever, if any person doesn't have any classification under first 6, that will be classified into AJP. Simply, it is residuary. If there is no place in any other limb, definitely you can classify into AJP, artificial judicial person. Just we created for artificially. Example, you can remember trust. Yes, ma? What is that, ma? Trust. Next one, ma? University, RBI, etc. But main thing, cooperative societies. Cooperative societies is also example of what? Example of what, ma? Cooperative society is an example of an AJP. Now I will discuss something about the cooperative societies. Can you give me one example of any cooperative society? మా మీలో ఓల్డ్ వాళ్ళు ఎవరన్నా ఉన్నారా? నేను వేరే దగ్గర ఎక్కడన్నా చెప్తున్నప్పుడు ఇంటర్ విన్న వాళ్ళు ఎవరన్నా ఎక్కడన్నా? అందరు కొత్త వాళ్ళేనా? ఓకే, ఎనీవన్ జస్ట్ గివ్ మీ వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ కోఆపరేటివ్ సొసైటీ రా. అపార్ట్మెంట్స్. నెక్స్ట్ టెంపుల్సా? సెల్ఫ్ హెల్ప్ బేసెస్. ఓకే, సూపర్. నేను ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అడిగారా, మోటో అడగలా. ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, నాట్ మోటివ్ ఆఫ్. యు ఆర్ సేయింగ్ ది మోటివ్ ఆఫ్ ది కోఆపరేటివ్ సొసైటీ. గ్రూప్స్. అరే మళ్ళీ కొడతా కొడరా, కొట్టినా కానీ ఇంకేం ఫీల్ అవ్వరు. నేను అడుగుతుంది వన్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ కోఆపరేటివ్ సొసైటీ. విజయ డైరీ, అమూల్. Yes sir, these are all are cooperative. Just I am asking one example. Okay, Vijaya Milk or nothing but Sangam. These are all are cooperative society. Simply, the cooperative society is the main objective is self-help basis. They don't want to acquire the more and more profit from that. They can earn the profit, but that is minimum only, not maximum. So apartments are nothing but one apartment is there. In that many flats are there. All flat holders are members in that cooperative society. Just they will collect the money for the development of that apartment only, not for the profit objective. And next, when coming to that milk, cooperative societies also, they want to distribute the best milk product to the public at a least possible cost. But they are earning profit. Not much, but minimum profit they are earning. So that's why they are also required to pay the tax. That's why they are included in the person definition. Separately I am including. You also remember like this. If they are asking an MCQ, how many limbs are there in person definition? How many? 7. But AJP including what, ma? Cooperative society. Understood? No. These are all persons are required to pay tax. Okay. All the persons weight, height, color we have to check, or which one we have to check? Total income. Now we have to check every person total income. Okay. What do you mean by the total income? Simply aggregation of 5 heads of income. I think you know the heads of income. I don't want to explain again which. Now, which one is residuary? Income from other sources is an residuary head. Now, my minor daughter income is clubbing in my hands. That's why, because of clubbing provisions, my total income will increase. My minor daughter is there, her income required to be clubbed in my hands. So, based on clubbing provisions, our total income will increase. Earlier year I haven't lost, so that's why, can I do set off of that loss? Yes, because of set off provisions, our income will decrease. Now, finally you will get what? Gross total income. And just in intermediate, I don't want to touch this point in the beginning itself, because they don't know what do you mean by the clubbing and what do you mean by the set off. But somehow you know, that's why I am adding these points. If you are written in reverse way, definitely yes, 60 marks also will be represented as an 06. Don't do reverse treatments. Basic points, clubbing, adding, set off, minus. Next. After that, you can claim chapter 6A deduction. Finally, you will get a net total income. Many names are there for this. Net total income, taxable income, net income. On this only we are required to pay the tax. Every person total income we have to check. This total income we have to check from childhood to retirement days of an previous year. That is only the next point. Every person total income of which year? Previous year. Now, okay, combinedly I will explain the assessment year also. Previous year definition given in which section? Section 3. మళ్ళీ పగిలిపోద్ది ఎవరు 2 అంటారు. ఎంత లిస్ట్ రాసి పైన కళ్ళు కనపట్లేదా? Section 3 exclusively given the definition of the previous year. Other definitions 2. Person definition in which section? 2 class 31. Okay. Now we have to start this discussion. In accounting subject, whenever faculties are started, they are given the golden rules, right? Do you know golden rules? If I am asking suddenly, no one can say, but in interviews, that is also a question. In interviews, in my Big 4 interview, that question only asked first question. Okay. So now, because they are proudly saying we have a golden rule or golden rules, etc. So that's why, to be honest, in income tax there is no golden rule, general rule, but I am giving this as a golden rule. Okay, golden rule or general rule in income tax. Simply, already we discussed previous year. For our examination 25-26, assessment year is 26-27. During this year, if any income earned, that is year is called as what? Previous year. That immediately succeeding year to the previous year is called as assessment year. Simply, whenever you are earning the income, that year is called as an previous year. On that you are required to pay the tax in the next year, that year is called as an assessment year. First of all, you have to remember it is an financial year, not an calendar years. Sir, why we are required to pay the tax in next year, sir? In that year shall I make the payment? How you can make the payment in that year itself? Because the books of accounts required to complete or closing within the next 1 week or 2 weeks also. So that's why please extend the tax payment to the next year. That is only assessment year. Now I can define the previous year. Please listen. Section 3, previous year. It is an financial year in which you are earning the income is called as an previous year. Sir, present previous year for our examination of June 26 and December 26 term is nothing but previous year 25, 26. Always how many months? 12 months. Always how many months? 12 months. Sir, but in some exceptional cases, the previous year always containing how many months? Less than 12 months. Okay, I will say simple example. I don't have any income till August. August 1st I got job. Now previous year in my case is August to 31st March. New source of income started from, in this example, started, my source of income started from which month? September. Now September month to year end only your previous year, that is less than how many months? 12 months. I started new business or profession from October mantra. Now for this business or profession, what is that previous year? October to year end, that's why it is also less than 12 months. In these two cases only we have a previous year less than 12 months, otherwise full month. I started business in 1920. Now it is a new business or old business? Old business. Previous year means how many months? 12 months. In the previous year, if any new source coming to existence, before that I don't have any source. Our new business is coming in existence, that's why you have a previous year always less than 12 months. Next, assessment year means, first of all, it is a financial year in which you are paying the tax is called as what? Present assessment year for examination is what? 26, 27, but there is no change in the assessment year. Assessment year always 12 months. Because at the time of earning only maybe there is a difference of 12 months or 10 months or 2 months. This year always constant, always how many months? 12 months. Now, so as of now, you know, every person total income of an previous year, we verified everything. Now, just we'll take example. Mr. A is there, Mr. B is there, partnership firm is there. Okay, 1 minute. Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. Okay. Mr. A is following the 115 BSc. He is following the old rates. The total income of the previous year, now I am saying. Total income of what? Previous year, 15 lakh. Okay. 1 lakh. 10,000. Every person, persons only. Total income of the previous year also I given. Who is required to pay the tax in these cases? Now these all are persons, right? These are all are persons. Every person, total income of previous year also I given. Now who is required to pay the tax? All or some of the only? Some of the only. This fellow is not required to pay tax. Why? His income is below the basic exemption limit. Here definitely they are required to pay the tax. For partnership firm there is no basic exemption limit. Now 115 BSc 4 lakh is basic exemption amended. Previously 3 lakh, now 4 lakh. So above 4 lakh only, that's why they are also required to pay the tax. That means how we can know one person is required to pay the tax or not? If their total income exceeded the basic exemption limit. Now, whenever if person is paying the tax, that person will become as an assessee. Okay, now person means Mr. A is a person, Mr. B is a person, partnership form is a person. Now who will become as an assessee? Mr. A, assessee, partnership form also assessee, because they are required to pay the tax in that income tax law. All are persons, but some of the persons only will become as an assessees. Here who become as an assessee? Mr. A, and the partnership form only becomes as an assessee. Now simply I can say, every person total income of the previous year exceeds basic exemption limit, but that is only technically we can call it as, this is a maximum amount not chargeable to tax. I will tell you one maximum limit, 0 to this is a maximum limit. Up to this no tax, after that if you earn only tax. So simply you can call it as a basic exemption limit, but technically we can call it as an, that is a maximum limit not chargeable to tax. Now, can you tell me? Exceeds, already we given it as an exceeds. Now this person will become as an assessee. Understood? Every person total income of the previous year if exceeds the basic exemption limit, now that person is called as an assessee. If you are an assessee, you are required to pay the income tax, chargeable to income tax. At what rates? The rates given in Finance Act. Can you tell me what is a Finance Act? Finance Act 2025, the related to assessment year 26, 27. What is the previous year? 25, 26. Now tell me, this is difficult to understand. No. Every person whose total income of the previous year if exceeds the basic exemption limit, that person is an assessee. Assessee is required to pay income tax. How to pay income tax? Entire income is income tax? No. Some rates are there. That rates given in Finance Act. For every assessment year there is a relevant Finance Act. Now our assessment year relevant Finance Act is 2025. Here after our chapter is rates only. Rates will discuss first income tax rate, surcharge, education cess, all the rates. If you discuss, this chapter will be over. Understood? Now without seeing, can you try this section 4 content? Every person whose total income of previous year exceeds the basic exemption limit, that is an assessee. But the person becomes an assessee. Chargeable to income tax at the rates specified in Finance Act relevant to the assessment year. What is the assessment year for our term? 26, 27. What is it? Finance Act 25. What is the previous year? 25, 26. Tomorrow we'll start with the rates directly. Thank you.